New commitment for Notre Dame in the 2026 class, and it's one with some NFL pedigree. Folks, you're going to like this one. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. And blueandgold.com is the place to be for so much more on this commitment. And it's Devin Fitzgerald from Phoenix Brophy Prep, 6'2", 185 pounds, a 3-star prospect, but one who, I mean, we'll pop on his film. He's a good looking player, Tim, and comes with some size. The son of Larry Fitzgerald, so you absolutely love that. Yeah, Tim, Notre Dame beating out, Michigan, UCLA, North Carolina, Stanford. Pretty strong list of offers, and we talked about. I said this on a recent show. I think he's, like at the low end of Deion Colsey, on the high end, he's got some Chase Claypool. I know you said Jaden Thomas as a comp for him potentially.
Yeah, I mean he's a Jaden Thomas, Bo Collins type of football player. That's just who I always thought of. And then as I really got into his film, I started to think about TJ Jones, who was the team MVP back in 2013 and a 6th-round pick, played in the NFL for many years. TJ's a little bit smaller, but I started thinking about a guy that accountability, you could trust, a team player. And obviously TJ Jones was an absolute stud, over 1,000 yards in Notre Dame. But I started to notice some of the things, and that's a guy who really popped into me. So I really love his film. Obviously, his dad is, NFL Hall of Famer. So you're going to get a highly competitive kid who's going to come to Notre Dame. And then the next thing off of that is the competition, Brophy Prep. Obviously, Notre Dame, it's starting to be like a mini feeder school, right? If you got an athlete out there, we're going to check him out and recruit the heck out of him. And obviously with Ben Morris and Cree Thomas and now, Fitzgerald in the fold. So very talented. And one thing I started to write something like, he's not the quickest dude in the world, but his ability to plant real quick and change direction on that second and third step, he got a little bit of a phone booth, type of little hip swivel in there on inside when you watch some of these things. So, what Notre Dame needs wide receivers. You're getting a wide receiver with a lot of, competitive skills, ball skills right there. There's one of the little able to plant, step, and accelerate and win an extra 15 yards. So good pickup, good, solid football player. He's not the Will Fuller. He's going to run by you going 4.2. But lastly on this real quick, Mike, is I looked up a bunch of his 40 times that he's been at camps. Okay. He's been a consistent 4.5, 4.55.
Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Really?
On a handful of camps I was able to Google and read about him. So, yeah, I would call him a good 4.55, 4.6 type of a 40 type player in there. And that's darn good, for a high school football player.
If this kid were playing at a school like Austin Westlake, who's to say he's not?
He's Greathouse.
He's not Greathouse.
I know.
I'm thinking Jaden Greathouse, like they have, like, Greathouse is not a burner. He's not.
No.
But I know the Notre Dame staff is kind of kicking themselves and being like, why didn't we get the ball more? Why didn't we feature Greathouse more in 2024? And this kid, just like how well-rounded and how clean and polished he is at the receiver position, it's really good. The speed might limit the full upside that you can be at receiver. Like if he's not like a freak show 4.4 kid, but if he's verified 4.5, 4.6, that's good. That is very good. For the type of receiver he is. Like you need these dependable, great hands. Like you see how he catches with his hands in traffic, how he moves in space right there to find his quarterback who's going through a second or third read, coming back to the ball, catching it cleanly. Like you need this. I know everyone just wants, 6'4" guys running 4.3. Guess what? Those kids, it's going to be a little while until they start coming to Notre Dame. We saw Notre Dame transform the defensive back room. Notre Dame's getting the elite 5-star type of DBs, but might be a little while until Notre Dame starts getting those receivers. But this is the type of receiver who Notre Dame needs to be landing more. Like you're like, I think Jaden Greathouse is like, dude, why aren't we talking about him as a comp?
Man, this is seriously. I'm sitting here like chomping on the bits. I love that you said that because you start thinking of the catches Jaden's made. It's those 10-yard over the middle stop routes, go make a guy move. You go back to the touchdown, the quick little dump that they hit on, and he made Caleb Downs miss. He made the corner. Downs came in, quick little hip swivel, runs it in for a touchdown. And obviously the slot fade for the touchdown at the end of the game to get it within a touchdown. But yeah, very comparable. As you were talking about him, I just kept thinking about the film we would watch on Jaden Greathouse, and it was same thing you see of Fitzgerald, competitive catches, competitive football. You put Fitzgerald in a Texas passing high school offense like that, I think we would see the same type of comparable.
Yeah, you know who
is a Greathouse. That's a great comp. Even a Rico Flores. We rave so much about Rico Flores coming from Folsom High School in Northern California because that's a major state public school power that knows how to chuck the football over the place. So he's up there with those guys. I think his ball skills, high school football receiver coming to Notre Dame. Yes.
Yeah. And Jaden Greathouse's quarterback was Cade Klubnik, so that definitely helped some things as well. So yeah, and it's not like Brophy Prep is a bad school. It's pumping out kids to Notre Dame. So when we are recording this video, it like the timing of when we're recording this actually in the month of June. I don't know what Notre Dame's receiver board exactly looks like as like when Devin commits, but I think that the receiver recruiting for Notre Dame, is it like a complete like 180, kind of like this movement? Maybe not, but I think this is a steadier, better, and we'll see how it finishes, but I think this is a better recruiting class than 25 for the receiver position. And I guess I'm the eternal optimist. But I thought last year's receiver class was okay. I love Elijah Burris. I think he's going to be the surprise guy for this year's offense. Jerome Bettis, we'll see what he becomes. He's got great size. And Scrap Richardson, who the heck knows? He needs to get on scout team and figure some things out and let him develop. And he's definitely an athlete. So, I think you add Devin Fitzgerald to some of the speedsters that they already have, committed. Well, could be a pretty good class for.
That's what I was going to say is this class is quick speedsters. Some guys that could just catch it and run. Obviously, Faison and Fraser just electric as could be. So you bring in a Fitzgerald with the ball skills, the pedigree that he has, with his father. I mean, they had David, Corey Robinson, who was David Robinson's son. The Admiral, and NBA Hall of Fame center.
Yep.
And Robinson, before he became the school president and retired from football, his first couple of years were dynamite at Notre Dame. So. Same type of thing. You went after a legend, and you got his son, and Notre Dame's having success with so many of these kids, which is just it's fascinating how they're cranking out kids, and Freeman's going after them because I think he knows the culture word that you've talked about. These parents have had so much success, and you don't have success unless you know how to work well with others and take coaching. And I think Freeman's really thriving on that, which is fun to see.
Yeah. So I think a nice get for the Fighting Irish. Let us know what you think in the comments. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Go to blueandgold.com for more on the commitment. And as always, folks, we'll catch you next time.